I'm Mana Shushtari. I'm a student at San Jose State University, and I'm also an Ignite the Vote ambassador. I will be taking over Ignite National's Instagram story for the next hour in honor of the fact that there are only 100 days left until the general election. One of the major questions for our generation is, how do we get the youth out to vote? One way that I found to be pretty successful is to be really consistent and persistent with my social media posts. Since I was 17 years old, I've always had the link to go register to vote, vote.gov, in my bio. However, since becoming an Ignite the Vote ambassador, I've been able to kind of upgrade the link that I use in my bio, because not only can we register people to vote with this link, but we can also help people create their own formalized voting plans. Another way to get young people to vote is through a method called relational organizing, and that depends on you reaching out to your own friends and family and asking them, hey, have you registered to vote? Hey, do you have your voting plan? Something I did my freshman year of college during the 2018 midterms is whenever my friends got their mail-in ballots, I would ask them and be like, hey, come to my dorm room, let's hang out, and we could do a mail-in ballot party together. So they'd come over, I'd help them research their candidates, and I'd be sure that within the next week they'd send a ballot back to make sure that their ballots were counted. Since we were 18 years old, the importance of voting in every single election has been drilled into our heads, especially if you're born a U.S. citizen. However, it is easy to lose faith in the voting system sometimes because of the fact that we have certain systems in place that weaken the vote of the individual on the federal level. However, it is especially important to note that the presidential election is not the only election that matters. On November 3rd, we have our state houses up for re-election. We have city council members and we have county supervisors. These votes and these elections determine what your day-to-day life looks like, perhaps even more so than on the federal level. So it's important that we participate in these elections as well, because they determine what time your bus comes. They determine who fixes the roads. They determine whether or not your county has a mask mandate. They determine your day-to-day life details that might not be considered on the federal level. And it's important to note that these local and state elections tend to be a lot closer than we realize. For instance, in Virginia, one of the state house seats was determined by a coin flip. In California, one of the purple districts that flipped in the midterms was determined by just a couple hundred votes. In these instances, and in every instance on the local and state levels especially, every single vote truly does matter. This is why it is important to vote not just in the general election every 4 years, but in every single election, whether it be a primary or for a city council seat. Thank you all for hanging out with me for the past hour. I've had a great time responding to your messages and seeing all of your really nice comments. Just one more time, I'd like to remind you to please text IGNITE to 33777 to make your personalized voting plan, or you can do me a favor and click the link in my personal Instagram bio. If you want to stay in touch, I'd love to. Please go ahead and follow me at mana.shushtari. Have a great day, y'all.